Trust me, y'all. It's about time for me to get nosy in this carrot bed. A bug. Good morning. Welcome to Yellow Door Urban Homestead. I am Asia, and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space out in my backyard. And today we're going to do a garden tour. I think it's gonna be short. We don't have a lot of things changing. It's cooling down here. It was 40-some degrees this morning. Our high today, I wanna say, is either high 60s, low 70s. I'm not sure. Either way, I think it's gonna be kind of short. There isn't a lot of changes. Now, what I will tell you is I'm seeing broccoli heads, little small ones. When I peel the leaf back, I am super excited. If you are new here, I am in Virginia, Zone 7B, and I garden in ground, no dig, raised beds, bags, and in green stalks. I live on a basic urban lot, and I'm just making do with the space that I have. And so we're gonna go ahead and get into this garden tour. I'm super excited for everything that's going on out here. It feels like redemption. My peppers are redemption. My fall garden is a redemption because last year my fall garden was rough. And so I'm just excited to share this with y'all. Tell me how your fall garden is doing. Tell me how is it going in your garden? I know a lot of people are at the point where, in the higher zones or the lower zones, I guess, like the 4Bs and things, y'all aren't gardening anymore. But I do hope that me putting out these videos will be helpful. I'm hoping to keep them going outside as long as I can, as long as it is warm enough for me to come out here. I'm hoping to keep doing this. First thing, real quick, this is not merch. I want to thank the person who sent it to me, though. I absolutely love it. I've been getting more shirts. People have been sending me more shirts. Absolutely love it. It's gotten my wheels turning. I am still trying to get a design. I've had meetings. I'm talking to people. I am very hopeful to have this out very soon. Even worked on setting up my shop in my store, y'all. So hang in there with me. Some merch is coming soon. Let's get into this garden tour. So let's just do a quick pan of the garden. What it's looking like. Everything is looking nice and green. Everything is nice and lush. I'm pretty happy about that. I feel like we're gonna get some good harvest this year. Feel like we're gonna get some good harvest this year, y'all. So we're gonna start right here. I have not put the yellow green stalk back up just yet. That's where we harvested the potatoes earlier this week. Had a decent harvest, but I have not put it back up yet. And I'm gonna show you why. It's shading these broccoli back here. So if you look down this bed, further down, it's nice and lush, right? And when you get down here, they're skinny and tall, and that's because it's not getting a good amount of sun down this end. And so I took it out. These are green Goliath. So just for some perspective, these are also green Goliath. Not this one. I still don't know what this is. I think it's maybe a collard or maybe a cabbage. I'm not sure, but I've got them mixed up. But everything down here is also green Goliath. And so these were planted out before these, I think, or there's a shading issue. I really can't remember. Either way, they all look better than these. And these are being fertilized the same way. They're just not getting any sun. Well, enough sun. They get some sun, clearly, because they're still growing. And so I haven't put the yellow green stalk back up. But these are all of our broccoli over here in this bed. It's a mix of 3 different varieties, but everything is looking good. You can see we have some kind of pest damage. I also have a curled leaf right here, so I need to come and look at that. Anyway, they don't look bad though, and so I'm not freaking out. Someone left me a comment and they said, I'm lucky that I don't have to cover. I do deal with pests. I deal with the cabbage moth. I deal with the cabbage moth caterpillar. I don't really know what it's called. I deal with snails and I deal with slugs. And so what happens is I just come out here and I pick them with my hands. A lot of people do ask, what do you do for pests? I just pick them. I don't spray. I don't use diatomaceous earth or anything like that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm not saying that it's bad. I've just made the decision not to do that. And so I do deal with pests. I don't want anyone to think that I don't. I also started my plants very early because I wanted them to be a good size to fight the pest off. And so that's just one of the things that I do in my garden to help me, because I don't cover because of things like this. So I have trellises up. It takes more energy for me to take these trellises down and put them back up every year than it does for me to just come out here where I'm going to be anyway and pull off any pests that I see. And so with that being said, I don't cover, but I still do deal with pests in my backyard. And so this collard bed is looking amazing. We have just a little bit of pest pressure over here too. Y'all remember we had all of those tomatoes that volunteered? They still trying to grow. They're gonna die with the first frost, and they're not impeding the growth of these collards. So I just left them. Not a big deal. It's still roots in the soil, in my opinion. So I just didn't worry about pulling them out. I won't be harvesting anything in these beds until we get our first frost. They say that it makes it sweeter. I've said that before. So I'm just waiting for our first frost. When we get it though, I'm gonna do the cut and come again with these, which is basically just pulling off the lower leaves, the larger lower leaves, probably leaving these leaves here and let it continue to grow. And so these collards will be in this bed until spring, unless they die. We get a freak frost, something like that, that's like really low and they die. They will be in this bed until spring. And so that's how I'm going to keep the collard harvest going all the way through the winter, all the way up until I plant again for spring, because I do plan to plant another crop of these same vegetables for spring, and hopefully I can get another harvest of them. We do have a few peas that have made it up the trellis. They're still going. There's still some small ones down here trying to come up the trellis, so maybe we will get some peas. There's some right here too. By the way, do y'all remember we had a volunteer bean plant back here? Pretty sure it's a black bean. Look at that. It's growing beans. So I'm just letting it go because it's not really, yeah, see? We got beans down here. So I'm excited about that. And when I say volunteer, a seed fell, it sprouted, germinated, and it started growing. And I just left it there even after I had planted out my fall garden. So I might get a few more black beans, which is cool because I didn't get a lot this year. But next year, I'm planning to put the black beans, like probably a full bed or a full green stalk of black beans, because I want them. I like them. They're delicious. I made a faux chipotle bowl the other night. I didn't use my black beans. I used black beans from the store, but it was absolutely delicious. It was delicious, y'all. Anyway, let's keep moving with the garden tour. So stepping back a little, these are our pepper plants. We left these. We're going to leave these until we get our first frost, the frost that kills them. So it may not even be the first frost, because I believe, because I have a privacy fence, the house is right beside the garden, I feel like my microclimate is a little warmer than other areas around me. So like if this was wide open, I think the first frost would kill everything that's frost tender. However, I think I stay just a little bit warmer because of the way that my garden is situated, where it is, and the privacy fence. So until a frost kills them, they will stay here. Because my plan with this is the bags they're in, I'm not going to replant. I'm going to put them to bed. So I'm going to fertilize them. I'm going to cover them with straw or leaves, depending on what how many leaves I have, because I put wood chips all in my front yard. It's kind of hard to get the leaves. I know a few people told me last year to blow them. The wood chips was blowing too. And so I want those wood chips to stay, because my whole plan is once they break down, maybe I'll have better soil and I can plant some grass in my front yard. Anyway, these bags are going to stay. I'm going to put them to bed, and then in spring, these will be some of my spring planting areas, because then maybe what's left in the garden beds, which I don't know how much that's going to be, they can stay and I can still keep getting crops off of them. But all of the pepper plants are still producing. So you see we still have some small peppers on here. They should get bigger. They have flowers. I am not expecting that these are going to produce and get ready soon enough. But when we are supposed to have our first frost, I'll come and clear these plants of all of the peppers and just leave the plants. Eventually though, the frost is going to kill them. And so here are some more pepper plants. This is our pimento pepper, cayenne peppers. There's some shishitos in there, but they're all still looking really good. So I'm not worried about that. And we go over here. These are some more pepper plants. And like you can see, right here, there's so many flowers on this one. It's a poblano, but I doubt we're gonna get anything off of them. But we still have some of the golden marconis. There's another one right there, golden marconi. We got a bunch of habanetas down here, just waiting for them to turn orange. So we still have summer going, but summer won't be here much longer. And then over here, we have some more pepper plants. See that? A lot of little buds of peppers trying to come in. I believe this is a poblano. Yeah. And then there's another, no, this is a cayenne on the other side. And then, of course, our really awful pepper plant. It's still here. It's still trying to produce peppers for us. I hope y'all can see it. Let me see. There you go. Peppers for us, and has all kind of flowers on it. But I'm honestly not taking care of any of that anymore. Whatever it gets from nature is what it gets. I'm not fertilizing it anymore. Honestly, I use a sprinkler right now. So when I turn the sprinkler on, that's how it gets watered. But I'm honestly not taking care of the pepper plants anymore. So let's see what else is left from summer. And then we're gonna move on to what we got going on in fall. Oh, you still have the roselle back here, and it is flowering everywhere now. We have flowers all through it. I'm gonna start coming out here and looking to see which ones are ready. I would like them to get a little bit bigger, the calyxes, but if they don't, that's fine too. But that roselle is huge, y'all. Y'all see it? I'm just letting it sit on the fence at this point because it has fallen over. The zinnias are pretty much gone. We do still have some that have color and are sprouting, but I'm not doing anything to take care of those either. Now, let's go look at the tomatoes. So this is a yellow variety that I planted out in July. I do think I'm seeing them blush, so that's kind of cool. They're kind of small, but again, not taking care of these anymore either. So they're not getting watered well, and they're also not getting any fertilizer. So whatever we get is what we get off of these. We also still have some of the Brad's Atomic Grape down here. There's more tomatoes there. These are planted in July. That one I need to pull because something has gotten into it. And then we have more over here. These are Homestead tomatoes, also looking like they're trying to blush. You can see they're not green anymore. They're like a yellowish green. I hope that's showing up, but if it's not, trust me, y'all. But there's tomatoes all in here. And so I'm just hoping for one more nice harvest of tomatoes. Some over there, some right there. So we got lots of tomatoes still growing. I'm excited about that. And this is really the first year that I've started tomatoes, planted them out, taking care of them to get a fall harvest. And that has worked out. So we will be doing that again next year. Another thing from summer is sunflowers. These are dwarf varieties. There's, what are they called? I'll put it on the screen. I don't know. But they're supposed to be much bigger, much more fluffier. Like, that's a fluffy one there. Let me see, is this the tag? Yes, teddy bear. They're called teddy bear sunflowers. They did bloom, but they're supposed to be a lot bigger. And the canna lily is coming back, y'all. That canna lily is a pest. That at this point, I'm not worrying about getting out because it's gonna get killed anyway when the frost comes. All right. Let's move on to the things that we have going on for the fall. If y'all remember, we planted some purple sprouting broccoli in these bags. They all look really good. This is a shaded space, and so they aren't growing as fast, but they are growing. They are getting bigger. They are surviving. We love that for me. Also, it's about time for me to get nosy in this carrot bed. I ain't gonna do it on this video. I haven't decided that I want to be nosy just yet, but the carrots are looking good. Remember, we planted these out kind of early, and that was because it's in a shaded space. And so I was like, they should probably do fine. So far, at least based off the green growth, they seem to be doing just fine. Somebody asked me when I was gonna pull this beet. I'm actually hoping that I can get it to go to seed and I can save the seeds, because honest truth, these were the best beets, the two that came up in this bag that I've ever grown. And so it could be me, it could be the a seed. Either way, I want to try to save the seed, and so that's why I have not pulled that beet out yet. I also did not get around to grabbing this lettuce for the chickens. They did have a snack that day. It just didn't include this. So now we just got some extra stuff to give the chickens, and I still need to plant my lettuce seeds. Hopefully we'll get that done this upcoming week. So over here we still have some more collards, and they're doing well. These are cabbage leaf collards. At least these two are. This is definitely not a cabbage leaf collard. And then there's another one over here. I probably got something mixed up, y'all. Either way, it is edible, but they look really good. And then on this back row, we have our Georgia Southern collards. If you've been here for a while, you remember these plants look really bad. They looked really bad when I planted them out. They're also in a shaded space now, so the growth is much slower, but they are growing. I'm happy to see that. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all, these beans on this trellis is still producing too, so I probably want to go ahead and take that. But yeah, the beans on this trellis is still producing, going up the trellis. So what I learned from that is I'm definitely gonna plant a fall crop of beans next year, and I will not put them on a trellis with anything that grows really big, or I won't put them on a trellis that's shaded. A bug. So, let me show y'all real quick this little broccoli head I saw. But we can't go down the main aisle because of the broccoli. It's just too much going on over there. But let me show y'all real quick. So if I peel back the leaf in here, y'all see that? It's a little tiny broccoli head. I was super excited. I only pulled that one back. I haven't looked through all of them, like that would be crazy. But we do have a little tiny broccoli head coming. I am expecting to start seeing them get larger and bigger by the end of October, early November. Looked up the maturity date. I told y'all that in another video so that I could stop coming out here and saying, hey, do I have a broccoli? Which clearly I guess I'm still doing because I did that this morning. But at least I'm like, oh goodness, should I change my fertilizer? Should I do this? Should I do that? Which, by the way, I'm gonna lay off on the nitrogen fertilizer. These plants look good now. If you remember, I said that I fertilize with fish emulsion. A few people have asked me that in the beginning cycle of their life. So now I feel like they're established. If you remember, I also put bone meal, blood meal, meal grinds, compost into this bed. And so it probably has what it needs. I'm gonna keep my eye on it though, because if things start to look like they need some fertilization, I will fertilize them, but I think these plants are now at the point where they do not need it. Now, the broccoli that I was telling y'all about that was shaded, I may continue to fertilize that just to help it, really jumpstart and get itself going and get, like a large stalk, that kind of thing. But the rest of the garden, I think I'm gonna lay off the nitrogen fertilizer. And so if we look down into the kohlrabi is also starting to bulb all the way through. And so I'm excited about that. Few people have asked how I use kohlrabi. I personally make what I call kohlrabi fries. And I have done a short for that. So if you go look through my shorts, it's either short or reel. It's either here or Instagram on how I make those. I also think I have a video in the Rooted Days playlist that shows how I make kohlrabi fries. I like it like that. Kohlrabi can be eaten raw. It can be eaten cooked. So you can eat it however you like it most. I don't prefer it raw. I also prefer green kohlrabi or white kohlrabi over purple, but my seed starts did not do well. And so we got purple, and that's okay too. But even over here in this bed, you can see that the kohlrabi is starting to bulb. And so I'm pretty excited about that. So let's come take a look at the cabbage. This cabbage looks very tall. So I don't know if that's about to bolt or what's about to happen here, but this one is very tall. And then you have others over here. Some of them have more pest damage than others. Like this one right here is getting eaten up. And I'm just kind of leaving it because I was like, it could be a trap crop, but it's absolutely getting eaten up really badly. There's drip irrigation in this bed, and so I planted my cabbage here on purpose because cabbage likes a lot of moisture, so I can turn on drip even when I'm not watering with the sprinkler. But we got some serious pest pressure down in there too. But this one looks amazing. No pest pressure, it just looks amazing. So you just never know how the garden is gonna do. These are the same type crops in the same space. Some are getting eaten up, some might be going to seed, and that's okay. It is what it is. Cabbage is not one of the vegetables that I grow well either, but I'm trying to learn it, and as I learn it, I will, keep things in my mind mentally, and we're gonna be growing cabbage well soon. And so all of the broccoli that's in the bags that survived is looking good. Like this one looks a little yellow. So this would be one, well, light green, that I would come through and fertilize with some fish emulsion at this point, because look at that one. That one looks fine. Not in the same soil, clearly, because they're growing in bags, but this one looks like it needs some fertilizer. So I will just fertilize this bag without fertilizing everything else. So these are some more broccoli that's in bags. They're in bags with basil from the summer, and so I'm still harvesting from that basil while this broccoli is also growing. Basil will die out with the first frost, and so once that dies, I'll just clip it right by the soil and then let that broccoli continue to grow. If I'm lucky, which most years I'm not, the basil root will die, but that's probably not gonna happen. When I amend and everything in the spring, I'll have to pull it out, but we shall see, y'all. One of the things that I always forget to show y'all is the nasturtiums. They're doing amazing down here. Nasturtiums prefer cooler weather, although they can grow through the summer. I know here in my area, they kind of die out around July time, but you can plant them again for a fall harvest or just some color if you don't eat them. But the leaves and the flowers are edible, along with the seeds that come from nasturtiums. Oh, quick update on my collard trees. They look amazing. Do y'all remember we planted these collard trees out, very small seedlings? They are doing just fine, like really good. And then the one that we've had since, I want to say last year or spring, also looks good. You just can't see it because it's mixed in with the tomatoes and the tromboncino squash, which I need to get that pulled. I did not get that done this week. And the last thing in this area are my quick tent beds. Remember, I just put these in recently, put some Burger BM6 in them. I don't know if I put meal or chicken bedding in here, not sure, but they're doing really well so far. The beds are holding up, so I'm happy about that. Our garlic has started coming up, which we already knew that. I'm going to heavily mulch the ones that have already come up. So I'm going to add extra mulch around these for the winter, just to make sure, or hopefully make sure, that the cold doesn't kill the bulb. But we'll see what happens there. We still have this space left because I will be planting again in November. So this space is also going to be for garlic. I just haven't planted it out because my plan is to plant it out for November. And then you have the Brussels sprouts back here. What I think is Brussels sprouts at this point. They're getting eaten up really bad. Pretty sure it is snails, but they're still growing and the middle leaves still look good. And so what I'm hoping for is that I can get these to a nice tall stalk, and then I can get a good amount of Brussels sprouts. But we shall see, y'all. So that is pretty much the main garden. Like I said, not a long garden tour because things aren't really changing at this point. A lot of things are growing much slower. Said it in another video, around 2 o'clock, my garden will shade out because of the trees up here. But it's okay. Things are still growing. Things are still producing. I am excited. So let's talk about how I have done nothing with this green stalk, but I have to do something. I am thinking I may go to my local feed and seed, pick up some starts, because a lot of things did not do well, but I think that's because this soil was very moist. A lot of things are just dying in here. Also, we still have not taken out the eggplant, but this week, I'm hoping this coming week, I get out here and get these eggplants out of here, because there's really no point in having them anymore. We have some kohlrabi down here that looks really good though, but a lot of the things that we put in here died out. And that's okay. We have a little bit of lettuce down there too, but even that doesn't look good. All right, so now we're gonna head out of the main garden over to basically the green stock garden and the citrus grove and the greenhouse. And I'll show you the greenhouse, and then we're gonna be done with this garden tour. Yeah, they're gonna get shorter just because it's, like I said, not a lot of things changing. So we're gonna start over here. Hey, puppy. Hey girl, hey girl, hey girl, hey girl, hey. You say hey? We'll start over here with the herb green stalk. Everything is starting to grow back again. If you remember, we have all kinds of herbs in here. I make a mistake and call these leeks all the time. They are chives. I think I did it in a recent video, but the chives look good, but even the chives have slowed down. Now this one I need to harvest. Even the chives have slowed down though, because normally all of these would be looking like these, but they've slowed down, which is fine. Our next level is parsley, which I have harvested several times now. And honest truth, this parsley was sitting in its container from the local feed and seed over in the orchard area for months, and it did not die. So I said, well, I'm gonna put it in here, see what happens, and it's doing amazingly, y'all. I did put some cilantro in here. It doesn't seem to be doing that well, but yeah, that's the herb green stalk. We have some empty pockets, and I need to start some more herbs because mine died. But yeah, things are looking good. That yarrow still looks amazing. I still haven't harvested it. I know a lot of y'all told me what I can do with it. Oh, there's lovage in here too. So yeah, we have a nice little herb green stalk. I am still on my cleaning mission, so I need to tell my son to come get these bags. But yeah, still working on getting things cleaned up. I do that in the fall so that I don't have to do it in the spring. So the rest of our green stalks are over here. This is the blackberry one. I did decide to go ahead and use some of the supports I had just so things wouldn't fall over. This dinosaur kale looks amazing. This green stalk in general looks amazing. It was my first fall one that I planted out. Even the lettuce and stuff is looking really good in here. So I'm excited about that. This is pretty much leafy greens. This whole green stalk is leafy greens. And then we have celery down here. First year growing celery. I'm pretty excited to see that it's growing. I have it kind of all around the bottom side. And if y'all remember, I cut my onions. Look at them. The new growth is nice. So clipping my onions work. This needs to be watered. I can feel it in this pocket. It's super dry and the onion is dying. But anyway, I need to water this. But the onions look much better since I decided to clip them. And it's the same way for the onions that I clipped in the blueberry green stalk. So I'm excited. By the way, I'm gonna clip my strawberries down once we get a frost, and then I'm gonna cover them with straw. And then we're gonna see what happens with them in the green stalk over the winter. But yeah, this is where they're gonna overwinter at. I no longer want strawberries in the ground, and so we're doing them in green stalks. The pink green stalk, pink blossom green stalk, is looking good. Like, this is a curly kale. It's looking real good. But then we have things that's not looking so good, like this broccoli. But in general, we also had some pest pressure where they've literally come through and eaten down the whole entire plant. And so we need to replace those things. But in general, not looking too bad. Oh, and some of our purple rain tomatoes are starting to blush. So we'll be pulling those soon too. And then we're just gonna pull this whole plant. Like, we'll just take these green, I'll make some green green tomatoes or something, but I want these tomato plants out of this green stalk immediately. And then you have the green stalk over here, also pretty much leafy greens, but there's also some broccoli in here. There's some onions in here. There's a few different things. We also still have pepper plants in here, and like this one has gotten eaten on. I think y'all can see that right there. We have some pest pressure, so these will be coming out soon too. But there are a lot of plants in here that look really good for the fall. Like, this is some red Russian kale, all looking good. I think all of these green stalks need to be watered, but we have some more peppers here. There's another one down there. Those are pimento peppers. Our moringa is looking good. Someone asked that I started from seed. I did, but I actually have done nothing to this plant all season long. So it doesn't look the best, and it probably needs to be watered. But I have not watered it all year, so I'm not gonna start now. The eucalyptus is looking better. I still never cut these, but I'm going to. Matter of fact, can I just, nope, it's not dead. But yeah, the eucalyptus is looking good too. So look at that. This is new growth, and we're actually getting it, you know, the way that it's supposed to look. So I think that moving it into this Vigo self-watering pot was a good idea. And for now, that's where it's going to stay. Then we have our yellow green stalk, which also has onions in it and shallots. So So these don't look as good as the rest of them. I don't know if the soil was just overly moist in this one, but they don't look as good. Some of them, though, are looking better. So we're just watching it, seeing what happens. We also have strawberries in the top of this. The citrus area is looking good. We have a lot of new growth coming in. Now, what I will say is we also have some leaf curl on these. So I need to figure out what that is. This tree specifically, and this is the blood orange, but everything else is looking pretty good over here as it relates to the citrus. We also have some little limes, I want to say, on here that haven't actually fallen. So I'm pretty excited. I'm wondering if I'm going to actually get some limes. This tree has flowered several times this year, but the fruit drops. So I'm watching that one because I'm thinking maybe 1 or 2 limes might come from that. Now we have our peppercorn green stalk over here. I want to say these are leeks. It's not looking good, y'all. It is not looking good. And a lot of the holes or pockets are now empty, but they were all planted with something. And then there's garlic at the top up here too. So we'll see what happens with this one. Right now, it's actually looking like it is empty. Over here in the black green stalk, we have, I want to say these are all shallots. It definitely looks dry. I need to come through and water. The shallots aren't dead though. They're not dying over here, but I do think this planter needs to be watered. And last but not least is our greenhouse. Our greenhouse is still looking decent. These plants are having to fight back from all of the pest pressure, but they are doing that. They are fighting back. Like, look at these new leaves. And so I'm also finding out that I have to water a little bit more in here, which is fine. As I learn, these are things that I'm learning. So this is all broccoli, not dying, not getting super eaten up by pests. And I think I just need to water a little bit more. Over here, we still have the roselle, and they are throwing out calyxes, y'all. So I do now know that I can grow them in here. And I'm happy to have learned that. Still gonna leave them. I'm honestly leaving them past the first frost because I want to see how long I can leave them in here. We have some kale down here at the bottom, which that's getting shaded, but I have time, especially since they're in the greenhouse. And then down here we have cabbage, we have Brussels sprouts. These tomato plants are still going. Also gonna leave them past the first frost just to see how long I can leave tomatoes in here before the frost actually kills them because they are covered. So we also, our Catarina seems like it's trying to grow now. It was stunted for a while. This is my only Catarina I have left, so I really want to try to grow it. Crazy part is the Catarina has a very short days to maturity. However, it's stunted in this greenhouse. So my whole point in planting those was because they had a short time frame on their days to maturity. That didn't really work out for me this year, and that is okay. So yeah, the greenhouse is looking good too. And y'all, look at these roses just coming back again. They are so beautiful. I mean, they're just beautiful, and I'm not doing anything to them. This is when I start to say I don't want to get rid of them. And a lot of people are telling me to put them in my front yard. My front yard shades so bad. Also, I don't have anywhere to put them because my flower bed has rocks. Just like the flower bed back here, it has rocks. And right now, it has hostas in it, and I'm fine with that. Sorry about the dogs barking, but I'm not going to put them in my front yard. I just don't have a spot for them. It won't be easy for me. We know I like easy. I'm not putting them in the front yard though, y'all. And also, update on the lavender. Looking good. You can see we have fresh new sprouts on the lavender. I think for spring this is going to be a good idea where I put them, and I think that this is going to work for me. They look really good, and I love that. I absolutely love that, y'all. I want all the lavender. Oh, and that nasturtium is still growing too. So that's the garden tour for today, and I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to visit me over on Instagram, where I post about the things going on in my garden almost every day. Bye, y'all. Make sure you think about planting a fall garden if you can.